my review of the Led Zeppelin album Coda. It was released in 1982 and produced by Jimmy Page. So this album was the last Zeppelin album I got, and I don't really specifically remember getting it. I'm pretty sure I ordered it offline, because I don't remember ever seeing it like in a store around here. This is kind of a strange album, being like a compilation that was released after the band was broke up. I've never really listened to it a whole lot. It's never been one of my favorite albums. I think just kind of the way it is makes it not really that like cohesive of an album. It's definitely the Zeppelin album I've listened to the least over the years. I think I listened to it for probably quite a few times when I first got it, and then it's just never been one that I've put on a whole lot. Even like recently kind of getting back into Zeppelin and stuff, I just never really feel like putting this one on. I mean, I don't think it's a horrible album by any means, or like really bad. So I would rather listen to all the albums they made while they were still a band. I think in pretty much for the most part, like the songs that are on this that were left off of other albums, I think they pretty much in every case picked the right song to leave off the album. But anyway, I guess I'll kind of get into that with the songs. So the first song we're going to groove, live track, and this is kind of, I feel like both the live tracks on this album, they're just kind of in that early like Zeppelin 1 blues rock type of thing that they were doing, which, like I said in my review, Zeppelin 1 just isn't my favorite time period of Zeppelin. It isn't my favorite like Zeppelin material. I kind of like their later stuff. And it's not bad or anything. I think it's a good performance, and that's strong opening track, but the live stuff on here isn't really my favorite kind of Zeppelin live stuff. The second song, Poor Tom, I think is an outtake from Zeppelin 3, and this is the one song that I think maybe like I might like it better than Hats Off to Roy Harper on the third album. So maybe like this one I kind of like a little bit better than the track that's actually on that album. But it's a pretty cool song. It's got some cool drums from Bonham. They kind of take my attention away from everything else in the song a little bit, just because I enjoy them so much. But it's got some cool acoustic guitar stuff going on too. Pretty good song. It's, I think, up there for one of my favorites on this album now. The third track, I Can't Quit You Babes, another live song it's good, but it's not, like I said, not my favorite Zeppelin live stuff. And I just feel like the live songs on this album, even though they have like the kind of crowd noise edited out and stuff, they just, I don't know, it just kind of adds to the album being disjointed and not really flowing that well. The fourth song, Walter's Walk, is apparently from around the time of House of the Holy, and I don't know if this is correct or not because it's on Wikipedia, but apparently the vocals were recorded later, which vocals on it are like really hard for me to understand what he's saying for a lot of it, and just sound kind of really weird. So I could kind of see that being the case, I guess. This one I think is kind of my least favorite track on this album now, which I don't know if I ever really had that reaction to it before. But I mean, it's not like it's bad or anything. It's just, it's kind of hard to understand what he's saying. It's not like terribly interesting. But yeah, I don't know. It's this one I'm definitely kind of glad that they left off of House of the Holy. The fifth song, Ozone Baby, is I think from the In Through the Outdoor Sessions. For a long time, this was my favorite song on the album, and a lot of it had to do with just the bass. I think it's got some really cool bass on it. The guitar is like a lot less noticeable, but Jimmy gets a cool solo on it, and I don't know, pretty kind of cool, like energetic song, maybe a little bit repetitive, but still one of my favorites from the album. The sixth song, Darlene, I feel like the song is kind of like Hot Dog's cousin or something. It's kind of a song that reminds me of that, but this one is longer, and it's a pretty cool song. It's got a lot of cool guitar stuff from Jimmy. It's got a lot of cool piano stuff from John Paul Jones. I like it. I think it's one of the stronger tracks on here. The seventh song, Bonzos, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the second part of this, but basically it's a drum solo. And I almost kind of like this one a little bit better than Moby Dick. It's got some weird other sounds going on in it that I'm not entirely sure what they are. I should have looked that up, but that kind of adds something cool to it, and I think Bonham's playing really good on it. So kind of cool for a drum solo. And then the eighth and final track, Wearing and Tearing. I think it's a pretty strong track to end the album. Pretty cool track, but it's I don't know. All these In Through the Outdoor tracks that they have on here, as good as they are, and they're amongst like some of my favorite stuff on the album. I'm still kind of glad it's not on the album itself. So they all just seem like, I don't know, they all seem a little less finished than the stuff that made it onto that album to me. So yeah, Coda, I don't know, it's not that bad of an album, especially considering what it is. It's just, you know, a compilation, but I think the lack of flow to it just kind of keeps it from being one that I want to listen to often. And then some of the songs are just, I mean, they're weaker than the songs that actually made the albums that they're off of for the most part. So, not like a great place to start with Zeppelin. I think this is kind of one of those albums that once you've checked out, you know, all their other stuff, that it's good to pick up. But I mean, that's the way I listen to it. So if you listen to it first, it might be like your favorite Zeppelin album. Who knows? But yeah, just not one of their stronger albums.